Be the best version of yourself every day. People aren't gonna resonate with you. People aren't gonna trust you because you're not actually being yourself.
Entrepreneurship is not a title. Entrepreneurship is a function.
I don't like to play the victim as a woman. I like to see it as my superpower. Be the best feminine energy that you can be.
Good afternoon, my friends and fans in East Talks Business. Today we have a very, very special guest. I think you'll be surprised, as I am, after knowing her better. We spoke a little bit. I met her a couple of times right now, but I think it took my attention immediately how special this character is. Somebody, as all of us, moving to Dubai, we will know now how many years and so on, but creating something very special around her and making herself a new brand that everybody's looking at. So very happy to have Lilly with me.
Thank you so
Lilly,
much.
how can I say your last name?
It's Douse. It's a
Douse. That's
yes.
so British. Okay, so Lilly Douse with me. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited to have you on East Talks Business. And I know we didn't have a long conversations before, but to be honest, as I mentioned right now, how should I introduce you to the audience?
Oh, it's very difficult. I would say in a kind of way like public figure with it across technology, really. A stage personality as well. I work a lot on stage, media personality, and in a way an entrepreneur because I'm always kind of looking for what I can maybe create and form out of the platforms that I've already created, and that's kind of like a work in progress, but that's ultimately what I want to do, is to create my own business from the growth that I've made so far. But that's kind of in the plans of things that I want to do, but so far that's what I've managed to establish, and then that's where I'm aiming to go to.
So very busy person, as everyone who wants to make something happen in Dubai.
Yeah, for sure.
When did you move to Dubai?
I moved to Dubai, it's coming up to 4 years I moved here. So for some people that's like absolutely nothing, and then for some people I kind of feel like I've really cemented myself into being in Dubai now.
And from the accent, it's definitely a British one from London.
Yeah. So born and raised, I was actually raised just outside of London. Went to university in London, did a year out and travelled in Asia and Australia, but mainly London. I worked an office job in London. My whole life basically was being in the city environment, in the rat race, and then really realising that just didn't have as much excitement as I thought it was going to be. It didn't drive me. I wasn't really fulfilling who I actually am by being there. So Dubai definitely helped me to fill that and realise that, yeah, you can do different things. You can try new ideas out. It's not whatever path you choose to take in life, you don't necessarily need to stick to that. You can change and then change again. Change as many times as you feel comfortable and that actually brings you happiness.
But that depends on the mindset, right? Because I believe people have two mindsets, right? And something I teach also, as I mentioned to you before, there is a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. Fixed mindset is what you heard from other people. Don't move, don't rush, don't do anything. You already have a job. Be secure, be safe, don't take risks, and so on. The growth mindset is everything that you mentioned. We can change many times. We can really try many times. Definitely when we grow up, we calculate the risk easier.
Of course, yeah.
We have much more cautious, we're more wise, but change is actually a fact of life.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you're basically getting bored, not really motivated anymore, and the passion gets less. Do you agree on that?
For sure. I think the world around us is changing. So ultimately you can change. There's nothing wrong in adapting. And as people, I believe people change so much. I definitely think when I was younger, I wouldn't have the confidence to do what I do now. So maybe it wasn't right then for me to take that path. But now, finally, that was the right decision. And I absolutely love what I do. It's all about personal growth as well. I think when you say about growth in terms of business, it's also personal growth. You becoming the person that you wanted to be in the past, and being the best version of yourself. I always try and remind myself that if I'm trying to push myself, and it's not about being someone else, it's not about comparing yourself to other people. Be the best version of yourself every day, or as many days in the year that you can be. We all have our bad days, but it's always about turning up and just doing things the best that you can do it.
Because I totally agree with you. Be the best version of yourself is a very nice statement, and I like it a lot, because if you continue focusing on others, you're losing time, you're losing your energy, you're comparing to the wrong person anyways, because nobody's the same, right? So
For sure.
focus on yourself, invest in yourself,
Yeah.
and be the best version of yourself. As you
Yeah,
mentioned.
because then it adds to that like authenticity. I always think
Identity.
yes, it's so important. People, the moment you try and be like someone else, you see an entrepreneur that you admire, and you might want to be that person, but that isn't you.
No.
And it's gonna, on that journey, it's just not gonna work very well. People aren't gonna resonate with you. People aren't gonna trust you because you're not actually being yourself. You're trying to be someone else. So there's no trust in that because you're not trusting yourself as a person. Someone else is not gonna trust you.
And the funny part, people, they fall in this mistake all the time. When they watch someone, they think they can follow him, as you mentioned, or be the same. You watch a very small piece,
Yeah,
right? Who's the most person you talk to in your life?
it's yourself.
It's you, right?
All
It's
day,
yourself.
every day.
That's exactly the point. So whatever you think you can be a copy of someone is actually wrong, because the most person you talk to is yourself. So that's an indication. Invest in that, and then you'll be your own figure. You'll be your own contact, your own brand, your
Yeah.
own self. It's a very interesting topic. We can talk about it all day, but I'm happy that you're on the same line on that. So before we go to Dubai, chemistry? Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
So I always had a passion for science, and I thought if I'm going to go to university, do something I'm good at.
Okay.
Make it my life easier for myself. Don't take a subject which is going to be challenging, because I was quite artistic. I had all these different things I enjoyed, but I found that the easiest. So I was like, right, chemistry, I have quite a photographic memory. This is going to be my easiest choice to do. And it was. I mean, for me, I guess I can say I didn't find it as challenging as maybe some other people did.
All of us.
Yeah, like, yeah, there were certain parts of it that, yeah, my memory just could work with it. So for me, my degree wasn't as taxing maybe as it could have been, but I knew the whole time that I didn't want to do it. The moment I stepped foot in labs, I was like, oh God, like,
What's
it
going on?
smells toxic, it's long days, I'm stuck in a dark room. It was awful. I was like, who signed me up for this? Like, why did I decide this? Like, I have...
Did you explode any labs?
No, I didn't.
explosions,
I mean,
no
I
bombings?
popped a few nitrogen balloons
Okay.
after having a few too many drinks the night before and being a bit hungover and just dropping stuff. So yeah, there was the odd things. I probably wasn't the best person in labs for sure. And then once you also know that it's probably not the path you're going to take, you have two options. You drop out and you give
continue.
up, or you continue and just show that you're resilient enough to appreciate the fact you're not going to, this is not your career, this is not what you want to do, but you can do it. And I think that was actually a really good thing that I did do. I just kept going. I was like, just get to the end.
finish it.
It's great. Yeah, I have the goal. I can persevere and I can be the chemist for this section of my life. And then I knew that I'd be the first person to get straight out of it. Like, there was no way. But it was also a nice aspect of like gaining respect from people around
True.
you.
You're a chemist.
Yeah, it really helped to learn how to navigate different people as well. I think actually it was probably one of my best learning curves, was dealing with different people. I mean, now I work in crypto and everyone's very tech focused. You have a lot of developers. And it's different personalities, and like I think actually my chemistry degree really helped me with that.
Really?
Because yeah, it opened my eyes to the fact that I think I felt like people would always judge me for being a bit different in whatever I did.
Okay.
But I think I also got judgments in chemistry, people being like, you can't do this. Like, have you seen, you look a bit different. I did some modelling when I was younger, so it kind of came with like a stereotype, like you probably can't do this, like you don't look like
it was a
someone.
challenge.
Yeah, and that was actually, I think, a great point for me to realise that like I could do it, but I'm gonna come up against challenges in both respects, where sometimes your looks can be great and people will hire you because of how you look. Sometimes you might be judged on that and people might not trust you in whatever field it is.
Don't take you serious.
Yes. So it was bridging that gap. But then also, yeah, just being like, well, let's just be myself along this journey. Like, the best I can do is just be the best chemist that I can be, and people will accept me for that reason. And it worked. And then I think I've kept that going for everything else I've done, is just always like turn up and be the person that I want to be. And then people do take you seriously. It shouldn't be a mental challenge of like, oh, how are people going to judge me? What are people going to think about me? People are going to judge you no matter what. It's human nature.
Totally agree. I think what you're saying is very important for me, because you're speaking with a lot of passion. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important key to success in anything, I believe so. And you're right, people will judge you all the time, every time, anytime, right? Regardless who you are, what you do, there's a lot of people in this world who have nothing to do, basically, right?
Yeah.
And they will always think about, oh, look at her hair today is not nice. Look at what she's talking about, what she doesn't know what she's talking about, regardless. So the best solution is this is our aura, right? As we call it. We focus on us, we make it happen. Your part is very interesting because you're challenged for different stuff, right? And you do it being a chemist, which is a big thing as well. But you made it, and I'm very happy to hear that you say, it helped me afterwards.
For sure. I think anything we do, it does. If you look back and think on it negatively, then it's a bad part of your life. But if you see the positives, and there are always a lot,
opportunity,
then you've really it was the best choice you could have made at that time. And I think for me, it was the best. And I think I said earlier, I tutored children in my spare time to pay for my university. That was a real mindset change of actually having to deal with children and explain completely different level. And again, I still think that's impacted me so much, because sometimes on stage, I'm kind of talking to a room full of children that are there to learn. It's still that learning that you're being able to demonstrate. So whether it be on stage in front of all these adults, there's still something they've come to that conference or to that event to learn something. So really, it's just being a teacher to them. So little things like that, I noticed that changed me in certain ways. So it's looking at everything as a positive, that it shapes you as the person you are. But ultimately now you just have to fulfill that and find your path.
So all of that is amazing and beautiful. When you moved to Dubai now, right? 4 years ago, almost, right? Which is, as you mentioned, some people think it's little. Yeah. Some people think it's a lot. I've been here much longer than that, but because I'm traveling all the time, so I consider more between Dubai and others. Dubai, I believe they're very successful in what they built out of nowhere. Yeah. The leaders are definitely having a great vision to make this place a place to be, to look forward to find yourself in. But there is one thing, and I need your comment on it. Not everyone can be successful in Dubai.
No.
Do you agree?
Definitely not. I completely agree. I think I moved here to work for Supercar Blondie. It was my first job as a presenter. So that was my movement to Dubai. And then when that didn't work out for me, it was tough because I didn't know which path to take. I was like, I can go back to London and figure out what I want to do. Or I can stay and try and make something work for myself. I saw the opportunity, but honestly, the easier option would have been to leave
give up.
Yeah, how am I meant to create something? What am I going to create? People put them barriers in place. Well, I haven't got a job. I haven't got the time to sit on LinkedIn.
City.
Yeah, where do I go? Who's going to hire me as a presenter? And I was like, well, if no one's going to hire me as a presenter because I haven't got the experience, and I have a bloody chemistry degree, that's not helpful. I need to create something. And it was me then forcing my mindset, thinking, well, what am I going to create? How am I going to do it? And then, and just, is there any niches, any markets that need serving that I could go into as a presenter, which maybe hasn't been done as much before? I worked in finance after my degree, so that kind of pulled me into more of okay, let's take it more financial. And it was probably more interesting to me. I have more, not technical background, but my mindset is very analytical. So
chemistry. Come on, yes, for sure.
So like reviewing cars probably wasn't something which was going to be great for me because it doesn't go into the depth and I didn't need to understand.
More of a show.
Yeah, and I wanted to have something where it was complex and I was taking difficult matters and simplifying them for people. So I had been investing in crypto before I moved to Dubai, and I thought, well, let's just start a podcast. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Podcasts were doing pretty well just after COVID. Let's start it. And then it kind of just started from there. People then invited me to work on stage. People started asking me to work in their media brands. And it was kind of nice because at no point did I ever think to take the job with any of the media outlets or work for anyone. It's like, well, let's just continue this journey because I came here, I had nothing, and
but you created it.
I had to create it. So it's that like creator mentality. And I think so many people get stuck on like being an entrepreneur. And I think the first thing you need to do is just create, like actually like shape your path. It doesn't always have to be creating a business per se. The first steps can just be like, can I be a consultant? Can I do these little things to prove that I can then create something at the end?
Look, at the end of the day, part of everything you've done is business still,
of
right?
course.
So people, when they think entrepreneur have to open a company, that's actually not true. Entrepreneurship is not a title. Entrepreneurship is a function, right? How we make this function work, it can be opening a podcast. This is something entrepreneurial for sure. Opening my own podcast is the same. Then being on stage and being publicly known, I would say, or needed, then going to the media. All of that based on a starting point. Starting point, this is the entrepreneurship from my perspective.
Yeah.
It's not just entrepreneur, I mean, I can do anything I want and I can open any company I want. That's not real from my perspective, at least.
Yeah, I think it's making that decision of not clicking on a job site or not going to a recruiter, but actually saying, I can be something or I can do something where I don't need the backing of another company. I can create something
I'm your own
myself.
brand.
Yeah.
Like me, it's my own brand. I'm the content. So let's work on that.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
this makes sense.
Yeah. And like, then if you need to change that, it's fine. But I think more people in life should at least try. I think if you can, just try something.
Because if you don't try, you're not existing.
Yeah.
That's how I believe.
You need to break the mold sometimes. Like, even if you've been in a career for a while, how can you leverage that into something else? Or is there something you're really passionate about that you think one day, the world needs the X?
It's true.
Create a business for it. If you need it, someone else will probably need it.
Some people, they forget the fact that every day, what does it mean, experience? Experience is every day something happened to you and you learn from it. And your memory is starting collecting all of this. It's a data center here, right? This is how you find yourself knowing things and you're having a lot of experience. So for sure, as you mentioned, just look deeper. Find the way for something from this data center that can make you successful. The way you started, I love it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But after the Bitcoin, amazing numbers now, how do you see the crypto overall? Because let me tell you first how people think about it who are not part of a business, right? So people who doesn't do business technology in general, or they have another business, they see crypto as a bubble, and they're saying this before the bubble bursts or anything, but like it's always bubble. First of all, do you think crypto will last? Like it's a long-term, this is real currency that people will continue to using it? I'm not talking only Bitcoin, I'm talking the currency in general. How do you see NFTs, how it goes right now? Everybody's trying to launch their own coin, right? How do you see that as well from your perspective? And third, do you advise people to invest?
Okay, 3 questions, right.
Big one.
So we're starting with crypto in general.
Yeah.
I think it's understanding that we are moving into a more technical world. The world is more digital than it ever has been, and it will continue to get more digital. It's inevitable.
True.
We're talking about AI, we're talking about blockchain technology. All of this is changing the world. People, VR, we are going to live in a more virtual world in terms of that as well. Gaming is going to be very different than it is right now. Shopping experiences, all of them things. I see the future being way more of us utilizing technology. Now, if that's the case, which I believe it will be, and I think most people in the world see it, of course, we're pushing for that, then you need a digital currency. And that is super important. And a digital currency which is transferable internationally as well, because I think that's also important. Technology won't be specifically in one location potentially. So if I'm connecting with someone in a different country, it doesn't make sense to use a currency in my country and then a different currency. A universal currency makes more sense, especially in terms of on the internet and digitally. So
united.
Yes, exactly. So I think in this Web 3, I'm hearing Web 4 future, but we're skipping Web 3 and moving more into Web 4. But this digital world that we're living in, I can see that there has to be an alternative to what we already have. I mean, of course, all of the physical fiat currency, that's going to be gone anyway. So will it be that every country does their own digital currency? We already kind of have it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. How many times you go out of your home with cash?
No, never.
Actually.
And my bank account is digital money, really. It's a number that I see. I have no idea where that money is.
But you don't know what's there. Exactly.
It's not sat literally in the bank stacks of cash. It is digital. That is a digital currency, really.
It's a digital world.
Yes.
Right? When we mentioned before, because I'm also in technology for a very long time, and we call it digital transformation journey, right? This is part of the journey.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, AI now, for example, everybody talks AI in the world.
And how do you pay? If, say, you have an AI agent doing something for you, there's going to be an economy, that they're going to require payment.
They will not be having a PayPal.
No. They're not able to go to the bank and take cash out.
That's actually true.
There has to be a digital currency for that. So I think how I see crypto is there will be this digital currency. Is it going to be different in 10 years to where we sit now?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Are a lot of the tokens that maybe are relevant right now going to be relevant in 10 years? Who knows? ChatGPT is an amazing case where there's all new technology coming out all the time where people are no longer using it as much because they're using other platforms.
DeepSeek now.
Yes, DeepSeek. Or there's so many alternatives now.
There's a lot of options now.
And that's in a small space of time.
But the usage is massive.
Yeah. But this small space of time and this has changed. So I believe Bitcoin being the OG and being something that, you're getting all the governments talking about having the reserves, Trump, I can see that, there's a lot of potential behind it. What is the need to reinvent the wheel for Bitcoin? It's already been around for quite some time now. Why not just use that as the international currency, really? Because to create a whole new one, you've then got to bring the whole world's got to come together. It's a bit of a mess, really, to get everyone involved. If we accept Bitcoin is probably going to be the one to stick around, each country...
It's a very political decision.
Yes.
I don't want to be involved in it, me and you, but I think, yes, you're right.
It could be difficult to even recreate what they've already done. So is it going to happen? I don't know if anyone's really going to come in and be able to beat what Bitcoin's already accomplished. Other tokens out there, I think, again, it depends what their utility is and what economy they're useful for. So, if it's a token which can be accepted by AI and there's a universal token for that, that could be useful. There's tokens have certain roles, and that's what people need to understand as well. It's like Ethereum, that's based around what digital things can be built on. So it's not the same as Bitcoin at all. So the value of Ethereum when it comes to staking and all these other things, that adds to the value. So I can see Ethereum sticking around, but because it's not the pioneer, it can be replicated. So Solana basically can do the same thing quicker and cheaper. So that becomes the next bigger one. So I think in terms of the rest of the crypto market, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be, as we were saying earlier, human beings have to adapt.
Yes.
Crypto is going to continue to adapt. And the ones which aren't with the best utility probably won't last. But it's hard at this point to know which ones aren't.
Look, the thing is happening in the world is anything. People brand things.
Yeah.
Right? Bitcoin is famous because it's the first.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody
digital gold.
They think crypto is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking you to educate people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they don't see that. No. Like for them, for example, I know people myself because we run also AI on our organization, and at the same time I use it in everyone. Everyone is using AI, but people think AI is ChatGPT, by the way. So they don't know what's happening. The same for crypto. Crypto is Bitcoin. That's not true.
No.
So from your advice, if someone beginner in understanding crypto, right? And you have $1,000, okay? Can he or she invest?
Of course. You can invest, it's more, but you need to invest your time to understand. And I think I can sit here in a podcast and in 10 minutes explain, but it's not enough. It's actually understanding, like doing a payment to someone internationally via Bitcoin. That will help you understand why it's important. Because I was talking to someone the other day, and like here in Dubai, a lot of people make money and send it back home. Now, Western Union used to make an absolute fortune
Crazy money.
from just taking a cut of what's being sent.
Yeah.
But with crypto, it's minimal fees and it's straight away done. So your family, you're working really hard, you get your month's wages.
But it has to be on both sides.
Yes.
That's the point.
So you have to make sure
Accept
you've
it.
educated the person to accept
Exactly.
it, and then they have to be able to use it. But that rapid processing is so important, and I think that's what people need to understand is, if I'm going to buy this, how could I use it? Why would this ever be useful in my lifetime? That's why when you're talking about NFTs, that's question number 2.
That's number 2.
I've got a good memory. Question number 2. So like NFTs, that they have their own realm to be valid, but are they worth what people bought them for? Absolutely not. That whole market has crashed a lot. Digital art has worth and
much more.
And and there's still value to quite a lot of the NFTs. There's a value to community which comes with NFTs, but are they useful? Not really. There's not much use to them. They're just nice digital art. They're a proof of ownership for something. NFTs will be used. Smart contracts will be extremely important going into the future. Your properties being on-chain, on a blockchain, you having a smart contract, no paperwork, super simplistic, and it will just be an NFT. So the property that you own, you will have the NFT version to prove that you have it. You want to transfer your deeds, it transfers via a smart contract, NFT.
Okay.
It will have utility, but does that have any value? The house has value, the NFT doesn't.
It's not.
So the technology is amazing and I think has a lot of potential to be used, but NFTs as we saw them in the last couple of years, that I can't see.
It's not really something that we can have a value of it.
No.
So that's a good one for our friends as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference between the coin and the NFT, this is very important. Back to continue the same question before we go into the third one, if you still remember it. Again, if someone have $1,000, do you think he or she can buy something?
Yes, of course. I mean, there's not really, the entry barrier into crypto is very low. It's actually much easier to get in than stocks and shares. But I do think, educate yourself in terms of not looking, don't look to KOLs or people that are making money off the money that you're investing. Try and just, as I say, get why you want to use it and how you'd like to use it and how it positions itself in your life. So if you're looking to invest in Solana, understand what the chain is. Firstly, what is being built on Solana. And if you back that, if you like what they're doing, do you like the community, then buy it. Bitcoin, what would be your reasoning for buying Bitcoin? It shouldn't just be about the price that we're sitting at now and what price can it get to. It's, do I think that I'm going to utilize this? Is it something?
You think people can still invest in Bitcoin?
I don't think we're too late. I don't think we are too late. I think the internet has only been around for 25 years.
25.
I mean, Bitcoin has been around a lot less than that, but no one ever thinks the internet's going to go away. So I don't think that Bitcoin is going anywhere.
But the margin or the profit is definitely not like before, right?
Oh, you're not going to make 100x on your money.
Exactly.
I can't see that happening. But as a store of value,
it's a good asset.
It's a good asset to hold. Like you would have
a digital asset.
Yes, it's a digital asset to hold, and maybe you'll need it in the future. Maybe something might happen to the bank where you're living, or there's something happens, and you
any
need,
situation basically.
You need to have a digital gold. This is what you hold. So I think diversifying is a great idea. I think if you need a roof over your head, so buy a real world asset, buy a house.
Because that's number one, I think, priority before Bitcoin.
Yes.
I think you need to buy something.
Think of your priorities, but yeah, like understand what these people are doing, but what the people in crypto are trying to do, and why technology is involved in it as well, how it relates to AI. So really understand the ecosystem before you invest in anything, and just don't listen to someone saying, oh, I've looked at the charts, it's going up, no, like that's...
It's not like that.
No.
It's not that simple as people think.
Otherwise it's betting, it's gambling. I mean, stocks and shares, it is a gamble in a way, but at least have an educated gamble.
Some people, before we move to the question number 3, which I'm trying to remind myself with it now, people saying that a lot of Bitcoins are lost, right? So they forget the passwords, stuff like. Is that a real story?
Oh, yes.
It is.
I do wonder in the total supply of Bitcoin, how much has been lost, but it's a lot. Because there's a thing called a seed phrase that you require for your wallet, and especially years ago when people were setting up these wallets, and it wasn't like it is now where we have a lot of centralized exchanges which can have control.
Security and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't exist. So you really had to remember this seed phrase. And if you don't, you can't access it. So it's a lock. It's like you have a safe, and if you don't remember the passcode, you're not getting into the safe. And it's a similar idea, but there's no one to come and literally drill into your safe. No one's there to help. No one can. It's impossible to recover. It is lost.
So nobody can find that?
Unless you can dig into your deepest depths of your mind and remember every... But no.
My question is different. My question, is it really personalized that much that nobody can find it at the end? So it's just in the air now? Millions of dollars are in the air now?
Wherever you left it, it's still sat in, it's kept on that ledger. So that ledger is where it's stored, but it's gone.
Oh my God. Anyways, interesting discussion, but very good, by the way. Thank you for the information, because I think it's very important for people to understand. People hear crypto a lot, and especially for the elder generation, I would say, they don't believe it, they don't agree on it, which is normal. People are always resistant to change, and that's a big change. It's a massive change that's taking the world. And I always say I'm lucky being part of technology all my life, because this is where everything is changing based on technology.
Yeah.
Right? So after the finance, after the crypto and all of that, now being on stage and being a very superstar in emceeing, I would say, really, which one is you more like to do?
I mean, the combination of crypto and the MC world. So I'm going to Vegas to host the Bitcoin conference, and that really excites me because I love what the speakers are going to be discussing. It fascinates me. Like, I sit behind stage or in front of stage and I listen to all of the speakers, panels, because it generally does excite me what they're saying. So I think just the combination of the two of them, and having a big audience. I mean, I love being in front of lots of people and getting to be myself. I think that's my real key thing. When people try and script me or make me stick to certain things to say,
you don't follow.
If I have a whole day, it's impossible for them to script me fully. So like, I'm just allowed to go say whatever I want within reason, but I can add to it. I can give my own input. It's just an amazing thing to get to do. Like, I really do appreciate that I get to meet some of the most amazing minds in certain industries that are transforming the world, and to get to chat to them, even just say hello to them, is absolutely amazing. Like, if we have Trump in Vegas, I think that will be the moment where I'm like, wow, like, this really has been a journey which I could never have predicted the outcome. Like, to be on stage with the president.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Bitcoin conference, please get Trump.
Everybody will watch for that. I'm looking forward to that as well. But I think you're doing it in a perfect way, seriously, not because you're my friend now, but it's true. You're very good in emceeing, and I think people see it as a lightweight. For me, it's very, very strategic, because I'm always on stage as a speaker. So the person who interview me on stage, because this is live, right? It's different than acting.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I feel when I'm on stage, I feel myself, I feel energy, I feel passion, I feel free, right? So emceeing, which is the one who actually master of ceremony, I would call it, right? Is basically connecting all of these people coming together. So your mind have to be awake all the time. You have to be alert all the time. And I totally agree with you. I hate somebody tell me follow a script.
No.
I don't care. Even if I put a slide there, that's only for the audience. But for me, the content is me. And the same, the content is you, especially if you're really emceeing. But I think you're doing the right thing. You're going on the right track. And good luck in Vegas.
Thank you very
We're
much.
looking forward to hear the feedback about this conference. And the Trump is there. You have to take a selfie. That's
okay. I'll be like, I've planned this. It has to happen.
That's very. You need to be ready for that. What's your goal now?
Oh, I really enjoy when people ask this to me, because I think if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I had no idea where the journey was going to take me. I think the goal now is, I think I've over time identified parts of the crypto world that needs help, and kind of realizing that I might not always be the best person for them roles, but how can I create a business where I get together the best group of people to help with a lot of these things? So like, my example is, I don't come from a marketing background. I might be an MC, someone that does video content. So people see me like, oh, you work in media. And I'm like, I do, but that's not my background. So like,
I'm a chemist.
So can I help you to strategize your whole media part of your company? No. But with other people who do social media, who actually have the ability to know what works and what doesn't work, I could help them a lot, and it could kind of build something bigger than really what the space has, because most of the marketing and media within crypto is pretty awful. Like if you speak to the audience or anyone out there, like they don't know the first thing about crypto. They don't understand it. It's been around quite some time. How awful is our marketing that we don't explain things in the right way?
Because nobody focused on it.
So I really do think, but it's establishing the fact that I know that I'm not the one to do all of that, because I'm not a marketing guru. It's not, but I've seen enough crypto businesses having so many issues with their marketing that I know it's necessary to bring in the right minds to make it work. And of course I can have an impact on that, because I can do the video content, but I need a marketeer to actually...
So you want to basically, if I understand correctly, one of the goals, let's say now, is to be the subject matter expert.
Yeah.
In the crypto packaging.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah,
does it make sense?
Bringing to market, I would say.
Or go to market, bring it to market.
That kind of strategy.
Okay.
Obviously, just keep doing my MCing, keep doing the video content. So all the things I've already done, but I think it's if I highlight stuff that I see being done incorrectly or just not up to the standard that I would like it to be at. That's kind of now, but it's taken me this long. Like I really didn't want to rush it, and I wanted to make sure that, I wasn't taking it all on myself. Like I can't turn around and say, I can run your social media for you, because I can't, and I'm not going to add value.
It's not your part. Yeah.
So I think knowing that now, that really is ultimately what I would like to be able to do in this space. But also,
But you need some people to execute on it.
Yeah.
You can set the strategy, you can go the market packaging, as I mentioned, but somebody who's very expert in doing this.
Yes, exactly. And it's realizing you don't have all of those expertise. You do need to reach out to other people, because you can't be the best at all of them. Be the best at what you're good at, know what you're good at, and stick to that. Stay in your lane and don't try and branch out, because that's when it goes wrong. So
that's very nice.
I think, that's my main plan, but just keep doing what I'm doing, keep on working for good brands, keep traveling a lot. I mean, I love to travel and meet new people.
What's your best destination so far?
Ooh, I was actually going through what I did last summer, because I did so many trips for crypto events last summer. Tokyo.
Oh, Japan.
I absolutely love Japan.
I think I never heard anyone who didn't like it when they've been there, including myself. It changed my mindset completely when I went there.
Absolutely amazing place. Like I was only there
very special.
4 days, but I have to go back. Like
very special.
So special. People were so kind, so genuine.
They're very aristocratic in the way they deal with things, right? It's very
amazing.
Elite.
Yes,
it's very elite.
Yeah, so I think that was probably my favorite destination. I need to do more stuff in the States. Getting to go to Vegas will be good, but hopefully expanding a little bit there. Into more new markets. I think Europe isn't in the best state to really be operating too much in, so it's really sticking to the best regions. Here,
it's so closed now. It's
what
really
can you do there? Like, there's nothing exciting coming
there's
from
much
Europe.
bigger places outside. There's the whole Asia side, Pacific side. There's the whole Africa side as well, which is also not really entertained. And these two continents are massive.
Yeah.
As a size, the number of countries and the number of green fields, right? For example, I would say that how many people heard about crypto in Africa or in Asia as well, by the way, other than the big ones like China and stuff. A lot didn't hear about it. So that can be an idea also definitely that you can take if you're doing the strategy and stuff
moving
like that
into
through media. Everybody's touching their Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, it's true that everyone has phones.
It can be your entry point. You never know, right? So think about it.
I think that is true as well.
Invading some countries through that.
Knowing your audience, knowing which jurisdictions are on the up is a really good way if you're trying to be an entrepreneur or shaping anything in the world. I think knowing where you should operate and shouldn't operate is so important.
Very important.
Because otherwise you're wasting time on something that's never actually going to have much benefit to you.
True. So one more question for you. Not one, many. Anyways, one of them. Are you happy?
Yes, I really do wake up, and that's how I see it. Do I wake up and jump out of bed? And I would say 97% of the time I can say I do that. Okay. I have my days where I'm like a bit exhausted, or I've been traveling maybe a bit too much or too little. If I don't escape Dubai for 6 weeks, I'm going insane. But I feel like I'm really happy because I get to be myself the whole time.
Okay.
I have a great group of friends. I have an amazing family. I have everything I ever wouldn't have imagined that I would have.
That's amazing. God bless you. That's very important. I think happiness is the satisfaction, let's say, of being happy. It depends on you, first of all. Not everybody around you. Because if you depend on people around you to be happy, everybody have their own story. Yeah. Right? So I always ask this question because it's very important. Are you happy or not? So this is very important for me. The second one is another direction.
Okay.
Football, because we talk about it a lot, me and you, but for the people who are watching us, which team are you supporting?
I'm an Arsenal fan. I deliver it direct to camera, Arsenal.
Gunners fan.
Yeah, I'm a Gooner through and through.
How do you see their season this year in general?
It's had its ups and its downs. I've had worse seasons being an Arsenal fan. That's my being extremely optimistic. Second place isn't necessarily awful, but it also means you're not a winner.
It's not the first.
No, exactly. I mean, my dad did say to me when I was younger, you can come second, but being first is all you really want to be.
It's another level.
Yeah, there's the winner, and then there's everyone else, basically. And in football, it is that case. There's not really. No one really applauds second place like you did well.
People remember it if they search it.
Yeah,
but the reality is,
it's not. You have to win medals. So in terms of what have we actually won, nada. So that really, to me, ultimately shapes the season. Am I happy with it? Do I watch it and feel wonderful? No.
But you will still support them.
Of course.
But that's my point, because my son, he's also a Gunners fan. He's living in Leeds, and he's always like that. But before he moved to the UK, and when he was in Dubai and everything, he's always Gunners fan since he was a kid, and now he's growing the same thing. Supporting a team is not about they're good or bad. No. It's in the blood. Do you agree on that?
Yeah, and I think if we take that into life, that is actually a really important way to live, is that you just keep going.
You don't change based on performance.
No, exactly. And just because someone tells you something or you see something doesn't mean you alter where you ultimately want to be. And I think it's a great example of it. And I think I'd be concerned if anyone was like, well, I used to support Chelsea, but then I'm changed to this, and then I changed. You're like,
that's not support.
What? Yeah, you're a terrible fan.
Because if you move this to the personal life of us, it means if you have a partner, for example, and he got sick, you will throw him away.
Yeah,
right.
So he's useless.
Sorry, I'll find someone healthy now, right? So it's kind of it's loyalty.
Yeah,
it's loyalty to the brand. It's loyalty to the team that you're supporting, regardless. That's people. That's why a lot of people who doesn't support football, they don't understand how much it's passionate for us. It's big.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
really big. It can really make your day good or bad.
Yeah.
Right or no?
I've had those days. I think I remember, not this season, last season, watching Arsenal play on New Year's Eve, and we lost, I think, against Fulham or someone, and I was like, well, I don't even want to go out anymore. This is ruined. Like, it's
turns your
ruined
mood
my
off.
whole, I'm done. This is not how I wanted my New Year's to be. So it's, but it's having that passion and community as well.
100%.
You can even like link it to crypto, and the biggest thing in crypto is it's a community. Like if I'm supporting it, you need everyone else to be supporting it for prices and
it's connected to the sponsorships and so on. Everything is connected.
Everything is community, and it's the same with football. It's just community. Being an Arsenal fan is a community. Being a Barcelona fan, that is its own community.
100%.
And when you travel, if you spot a person wearing your team's shirt, that is community.
100%.
You look at that person and you're like, yes,
my man.
Yeah, that feeling is
true.
just the most amazing feeling. So I think community, we can learn a lot from just these small examples
Absolutely.
about how important these things can be in life.
Singing a song, all of the people in the stadium, for example, 25,000 people, let's say as a number, singing the same song, for one person who changed their mood, that's community.
Yeah.
That's unity.
And in the UK, you've got a pub stretching for like miles of all these people. It's crazy. Like when you come to the UK, you can't believe the community aspect behind it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know, because the last game I was watching, I was in I forgot the name of the cafe. I should have mentioned the name of the cafe, but it was in central London, and I was watching the game, and I was like, okay, that's getting heated now. And it always happened to me when I was watching the UK, either in stadiums or the last time I went to the game, Man United and Southampton, I just told you, in August. And they warned me. They said you cannot even wear the jersey of because it was a away game for Man United. So they said you cannot wear the jersey of the away in Southampton. I was like, why? They said because it's serious stuff here.
Yeah.
It's community.
Yeah.
Again, you're against the community in some people's mind. So it's a big topic anyways. What other sports you play?
I mean, I admire sports in general. I think it is really great. It's a great way to take yourself away from whatever's happening in your life. I love running, so I'm a big fan of just getting out there and doing something.
Where do you run in Dubai?
On the Palm, I run on the Golden Mile. If not the Marina, Kite Beach. There's actually some good running spots here. Sometimes it's overwhelming how hot it is, but running. I've started playing more paddle tennis. I used to play a lot, stopped playing. So paddle tennis, normal tennis, any activity I say yes
sports
to.
In general.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, you've got 24 hours in a day. If you want to take up some time, it should be doing an activity, whether it's even walking.
You always like to be busy.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I can't, like sitting around. I like to unwind, and I love nothing more than maybe spending a couple of hours in the evening just relaxing. I've definitely, especially as my work's become more busy and the more you travel, you really appreciate the moments of just, I don't want to go out, I don't want to do anything. And also maybe the aspect of saying no. Like before, I felt like I had to turn up because there might be someone that might be able to help me in this way, and
it's not real.
Now I'm like, I don't really need that much help along the way. And actually, my most help is being kind to myself, to let myself relax. And if that person's worth meeting, they're worth meeting for a lunch or for a coffee.
True.
I don't need to go out all
That's
the
a
time.
very big topic. I will not open it because it can take another 3 hours of us. Seriously, the why not? This is very important for me.
But learning to say no and just like knowing what
very important.
you want to do. So like you'll know what you want to do in that evening. Yes, sometimes push through and go and join your friends and have fun.
But not everything, not all the time. No, I agree with you. It's very important.
Especially here in Dubai.
Dubai is based on events, right? So the power of saying no is really, really important. But again, we'll do it another episode. So, what is your advice to people in general who wants to enter the crypto market other than studying it and so on? Is that the right time, first of all? Still?
I think now, especially with the markets being down a little bit, it is a good time definitely to get in right now. So I would say yes. Is there potential that it's going to drop even more? Yes, I will also say that. But we also could see a bounce back. But don't check it all the time. If you're not trading and you literally just want to buy it as an asset, just buy it and leave it and don't worry about it, and don't check the price every day because it will be painful.
And one more advice from you as a woman now, right? To the women in the world, and especially in Dubai where we are right now. What's your main advice to the woman who's trying to find themselves?
I think being a woman in business can be challenging, but I think always leverage what you're good at. And again, knowing that there will be a certain judgment or a stigma sometimes, maybe just because you're a woman. And not everyone does that, but sometimes it can be like, oh God, I've got a woman MC, like, oh Jesus, like, oh, she's just good to look at. But actually challenge yourself to know that, like, that's not all you have. So be the best version of yourself. Turn up and amaze people. Don't let what you assume that everyone's going to think of you.
Not only the looks.
Don't let it worry you. Actually use it to your advantage.
Sure.
I love it. If someone's going to hire me because they think I'm just going to look...
50% already.
Exactly.
Done.
If they think, oh great, yeah, I'll hire her. She's a woman and she's going to look good on stage. That ticks the boxes, done. When I come and actually do a good job and they enjoy it...
another job.
Yeah. How fantastic. So I think, again, always having that positive mindset. I don't like to play the victim as a woman. I like to see it as my superpower. And I think we really need to, especially here in the UAE, I mean, people worry that in the Arab world, women might not have the same opportunities. Complete opposite, I found. I really find...
It's like eras before.
Yes. but you say that, but I think coming from the UK to here, people still have a little bit of a stigma that it won't be as easy as a woman in comparison to moving.
But it's not easy anywhere.
No.
That's the point. Again, as you mentioned, if you really look at yourself first as a lady, as a woman, and you have a value that people will appreciate, it will be anywhere.
Yes.
It's not only in Dubai,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I know
true.
in Dubai it's more challenging. I agree, actually. It's more challenging.
It can be.
People. Yeah.
But it's always, just seeing things as being your ultimately your superpower, and knowing that you are bringing something great to the table, which isn't just the fact that you're a woman.
Have an identity.
Have your identity, and also don't lose being feminine along the way. I think that's like, I can sit here and talk about football and
that's what I like. It's very energetic for me.
And I can have all of these different hats, but ultimately I still like to never lose the fact that when I enter a business conversation, I don't need to be overly aggressive, because
no, the feminine part is the feminine part.
Really important. So I really do also find that a very key thing to what I've done. I'm not saying it for every woman, but for how I operate. A lot of the time I am pretty kind when it comes to how I communicate with people. I am, maybe not as incredible as a negotiator as some men out there might be, but I think it works to my advantage, because people will rehire me and they're like, oh, what a lovely person as well.
100%.
I think it's just maintaining who you are, but also not feeling like you need to be the male
you don't need to fight
in business.
For it.
No,
it's not to fight.
Not at all. You can be super feminine, and no one's ever going to be offended by you turning up and being, have your nails done, do your hair, do all of these things, and it be presentable. Like that's something like add that feminine touch, or be nurturing to people, help other people. All of these things, which it is to be a woman, don't lose that along the way. Because if I have younger presenters, no, definitely. If I have younger presenters coming to me, I will help them and give them advice and chat to them, and I don't see it as competition. I see it as I'm nurturing and I'm caring, and I want to see them do well, and they're maybe 10 years younger than me, so why should I not help them along their journey? It's very kind of you,
but it's nice.
But that's also something I see. So I think just see it as a superpower and embrace it. Be the best feminine energy that you can be.
That's a beautiful advice to end our episode today, and really, we enjoyed the time, Lily. It's amazing conversation. I think we will definitely have part 2.
Yeah, that sounds
soon,
good.
Right? Let's say after the summertime, things changing, to see what happened in Vegas as well, and what's going on with you. And we're looking forward to that. But thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for all our friends and fans in East Talks Business. We had Lilly Douse today, and you know more about her, I think. So a lot of different sides of her. Chemistry, technology, sports, feminine side, it's a lot of mix, and I think it's a great advice. So please make sure that you talk to Lily directly. She'll be happy to answer your questions, and don't forget to give us all the likes and the subscribes and so on. I want to thank Rhinos Group for sure for the studio. It's amazing work. Davai Dubai for the collaboration with myself in East Talks Business, and looking forward to your feedback, comments for our next episode with Lilly Douse. Thank you so much, and talk soon.